Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. With the release of the Avengers End Game movie over the weekend, I want to share with you my predictions of some books that you might be interested and might want to pick up because of this milestone of a movie, of an era really. So with that, if you want to know some of the books that I have predicted to go up in value, come on back after this short video intro. Welcome back, Comic Sniper here, along with my trusty sidekick, Mark III, my little flying Iron Man. Say hello. We are presenting to you my comic book speculation for after the movie Avengers End Game. Was just released over the weekend, and it is breaking all kinds of box office records. So I am gonna assume that you've already seen the movie before watching this. So if you haven't already, spoiler alert, I'm not here to talk about specific points in the movie. I'm not trying to review the movie. So, but of course, I'm gonna share with you comic books and give you the reasons why. So in turn, there will be. I have to talk about the movie. So pretty much guaranteed there's going to be some spoilers along with it. So if you haven't already seen the movie, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, because it's already breaking, the records that it's breaking assumes that if you're into comic book movies or comic books in general, you would have already seen this movie. But if not, go see the movie, come back, and then check out what comic books I have predicted going forward after the movie. So, you've been warned. The Avengers Endgame basically closes out the chapter of the MCU thus far, with culmination of about 10 years plus and 20 some odd movies. I believe the actual last movie is going to be Spider-Man Far From Home, which is coming out very soon, and that will be the official closing of this chapter. And then moving forward is going to be phase 4, I believe. Correct me in the comment section if it's wrong or right, but I believe it's phase 4 that we're going into next. So with that, what comic books might be worth looking into or potentially going up in value because of it? Okay, now I have some ideas that I want to share with you guys. But before that, I do want to talk about the movie first. Just kind of give you guys my take on it, and along with the majority, I would say I am very much enjoyed the movie. Okay, it's not without its problems. It does have some here and there, and there's a lot of videos. If you guys watch some videos, they will talk about people's ideas on what they saw, what was wrong with it, and a lot of what was good with it as well. You got to take both. Okay, so that was my idea regarding it. But moving forward, there is definitely a shift in how the tone of the movies apparently are going to be going forward, and you can kind of feel it already. If you saw Captain Marvel, there's some of it in Endgame. And then moving forward, you can see it's gonna touch a lot of these. Okay, these are buzzwords that a lot of people have been throwing around lately, and is prominent in politics, TV, movies. It's gonna get even more so. Okay, look for these words. Definitely diversity, inclusion, representation, female empowerment, body positivity, LGBTQ plus something or other. Okay, all of these things. That is what is going to be driving, and the underlying messages that are going to be front and center, I believe, moving forward with the new MCU movies, whether you like it or not. I'm too old to be worrying about the PC police. Okay, I don't like to walk on eggshells in whatever I say. I'm not here to offend anybody per se. I'm here to enjoy this hobby. But unfortunately, all of these things kind of creep in without us even asking for it. Okay, that's what it's for. And whether you like it or not, whether it's something that you agree with or don't agree with, that's not for me to say, and that's not for us to debate here on this channel and in this video. If you look at Disney, Marvel, MCU, and where you kind of think things are going to be moving forward, you kind of have to look into comic books, because that's where all the source materials come from, right? The whole 10 years of the Marvel MCU has been pretty much, you know, taking its cues. It's not interpreting it fully, but it's taking its cues from the Marvel comic books. And if you look at the new comic books today, they are very centered around these politic words that I just shared with you, the diversity, inclusion, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right? Female. They're not doing it right because they're sacrificing storytelling, good action, and those kind of things for the sake of putting the politics in front of it. And it's kind of being shoved down our throats, and it's very in your face. And I don't think it needs to be like that. It just needs to be told in a story needs to be told first, a compelling story with action. Okay, remember, these are comic books, so it needs to have a lot of good action, and then the underlying story can be told that way without having to be cringy. Captain Marvel, there was a lot of cringy moments in my view. Endgame, not so much, but it wasn't immune to it. There was some in there too. In the comic books, what I think the writers and Disney, the new faces and the people that are running it now, can't seem to understand that you don't need to replace, change, or destroy old characters to make way for new ones. We can all have what we want. Why not make new characters and then give them personalities and stories that are interesting for us to see and want to read, without the whole story and whole identity being their representation, whether they be women, people of color, whatever gender they are, being the center point of everything. Changing Superman to be black, for instance, I don't know why that has to be. I mean, if you look at Hancock, he was kind of a Superman-esque. Now, whether you like that movie or not, there was nothing wrong with making Hancock, right? So you don't need to change Superman to be black. Let's just make another black character with similar type of powers and have his own backstory and having his own background and having his own adventures. Anyways, I'm rambling. After Endgame, end this phase of the MCU, we will have, we don't know what they're going to do next, but we can certainly, I have looked into my crystal ball. Okay, it's back from the shop, and I'm predicting the future here. So here is my sleeper predictions for the upcoming phase 4 of the MCU. Okay, so these are comic books that are pretty much, they're under the radar. You can pick these up relatively cheap. I'll start with ones that are a little more expensive, and then that people kind of know a little bit of already, and then we'll go into the best bang for your bucks kind of thing. Okay, so we'll take this off first. Let us start with, this is the Savage She-Hulk #1. This is the first appearance of She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters. Okay, the reason why I put this up is because of there is rumors of an all-female lineup that is coming, and I believe she would be one of the ones that would be introduced into that lineup. Now, this book is already gaining traction, actually quite a lot of traction. It is rising fast. I would suggest kind of waiting a little bit if you can. If you can pick one up right away that is relatively low priced, they are going for around $50 some odd already for a a mid-grade copy. High-grade copies such as this one, this is in the 9s, probably a near mint. This is probably gonna run you about $100 already or more, okay, raw. If that is too expensive for you, because I would suggest waiting until there's a little bit of a downturn, because sometimes what happens is there'll be an excitement period. Okay, right now I think is that excitement period. Everybody seems to be on the lookout for this book already, and then so it's driving the price up. At some point, everybody's gonna start looking somewhere else. Okay, because the all-female lineup is not gonna happen for a while still. They have to kind of build up to it. So there's a chance that people will take their focus off this book and then see other potential things that they want to get. So that's the time to to pounce and kind of grab a hold of one that'll fall through the cracks. Okay, so that's for this one. And as well, in a little bit lesser extent, this Sensational She-Hulk #1 as well, because if the Savage She-Hulk gets over way too expensive, then this is the next one to get. This is volume 2, and who knows? Right now it's a dollar bin book. Okay, it's very inexpensive, and like I said, that is the time to pick up books when it's not popular. Okay, because it's a very low investment and could potentially be a high return. Now, don't pick up this book if people are asking too much for it. As far as I know, you can pick up this book for at the cover price or even cheaper. You can find them pretty much in dollar bins. So just keep a lookout if you see it. If you see it and it's really really cheap, pick it up. It doesn't cost you much. It's just going to take up some space in your long boxes or short boxes. Okay, so that's the first one. I only have a few books here, but we'll go through some of them for you. The next one is this Marvel Spotlight #32. Now, along with the She-Hulk, it is for the female, all-female lineup, because I believe that I don't think she can hold her own in her own movie. If they do decide, I don't think they feel that they would feel that she can do her own movie, but she would definitely be a great addition to any female lineup if they do end up making one. Okay, and that is Jessica Drew as Spider-Woman, and to a lesser extent. So this is her first appearance on the Marvel Spotlight #32. Now this does have value, and it is, or as like I said, some of these things are going to have a lot of value already, and this one is climbing. But if you can pick this up for cheap, or when the focus is off of this and onto other comic books, you might be able to grab this for a cheaper price. Okay, or to a lesser extent, how about that one? Spider-Woman #1. This is also right now. This book is, you can pick up a pretty high grade of this for around $30 to $25-$30 around there. It's not very sought after yet, but as with first appearances, when those start to go climb really high, people start to look at other semi-keys of that character and then pick those up. Okay, so those are two potential ones for that. The next one I don't have, but I want to tell you about, and that is because of Valkyrie. Okay, now she is, of course, she was portrayed really well in Avengers Thor Ragnarok, and as well she shows up in Endgame as well. She is supposed to be made bisexual. Okay, now so that means moving forward, that's another diversity representation kind of thing that's going to be happening. So you might want to pick up the Avengers #83, which is Valkyrie's first appearance. I don't currently have that copy. I'll throw it up on I'll throw a picture of it for you guys. Now that's going to be her first appearance, and I believe moving forward there might be something with her and Captain Marvel. That's just a rumor, but who knows? Once again, if you can pick up this book, which is, it's not on anybody's radar per se. I mean, it is a collectible book, so, but not a lot of people are looking at it yet. It's not, it hasn't gained full traction yet. So you might be able to pick one up for cheap first, and then later on, when it goes up in value, then you can flip it. Okay. Next one up, we are going into obscurity on this one. The character North Star. He is basically the first gay superhero. When he came out, and that is in Alpha Flight number 106, when the character was openly portrayed as a gay character. So that is another one that you might want to pay attention to, because that moving forward, I believe they're looking into that character to add to the MCU. And along the storyline as well, this one, the Astonishing X-Men number 51. This is the first gay marriage, and that is North Star right there. So you might want to, this is something that could potentially be a story arc, and something that could show up in the MCU based on how they're portraying the politics. So this could be something that you might want to look out for. It is not a super expensive book by any means yet, but moving forward, if they follow up this thing, this could be a big sleeper and a hot book later on. Okay. The next one after this is the character Kamala Khan, and one of the books you should be looking out for is Point One, number 1. Okay, this is the first full appearance of Miss Marvel right there, as you can see. Now she is the first Muslim superhero. That is a thing, okay? Because of the diversity and inclusion with other minorities, that kind of thing. This is one of the things they're going to be pushing. There's also, along with Point One, there's also Captain Marvel number 14 and number 17, which is kind of cameo appearances. Now 17, I believe one of the variants is really, really expensive. I can't remember which one exactly. I don't have that one. It's really expensive. It hasn't gone down in price. But definitely, I'll throw a picture of it up for you guys, let you see it. Also with this, there, Miss Marvel number 1. This is my Miss Marvel number 1. First print is the one to get. It'll be the pink one. I believe the second print is blue, and then subsequently you can tell by the print numbers because of the color of the Miss Marvel, and as well right there 111, that means it's first print. Okay, this one is also going to be going up in value, I believe, based on Kamala Khan and being the first Muslim superhero. So to come out with that, all right. So that's definitely a big one, and as you can see, having a 9.8, I'm set. I'm ready to go. I do have another copy of this. I don't think it's a 9.8. That's why I didn't get it graded. And if I see another one for cheap that has a potential for 9.8, I'll pick it up. Okay, and then the last one. I know there's probably going to be more, but right now this is all I have for you. This is all I can think of. And my biggest sleeper predictions for you guys, that has the biggest potential to be, to pick up really, really cheap and have the best chance for it to gain really big value when it finally happens. Okay, so you have time to do something about it right now, because this is still undervalued, a lot undervalued actually.
Drum roll, please.
And I am talking about A-Force #1. Because of the female empowerment, the all-female lineup, they were talking already. They're openly talking about this comic book, A-Force, because this is the first all-female lineup that they're wanting to do. You can see She-Hulk. I talked about She-Hulk, and also Spider-Woman there. There's a lot of other characters, but I believe they're gonna leave the X-Men ones out, because I think they are gonna do something with the X-Men and mutants, along with mutants later on. But an all-female Avengers, A-Force. This is the one. Now, I made a whole separate video already earlier, before the Endgame movie, predicting this one book, okay? Because I can see it happening. And this book is starting to already creep up in value. Like I picked this book up in the dollar bin. I have a few copies already. I've been picking them up when I see them. They're starting to get scarce, and they are not. This is not a high value book yet. I'm telling you now, this is the best time to pick it up, because it is still very, very low price. We're talking, you can pick this up still at for cover price, or just a little over, maybe $10, okay, or under. If you can do that, pick up, and I'm talking high grade copies too, potentially 9/8. The ones I've been picking up are all potential 9/8. Whether they come back as a 9/8, that's a different story. It's not in my control. But all I can do is grab the high grade ones, and then when it starts to go up in value, then I'll start to get them graded. And then when the MCU finally catches up, and they put enough movies out that they can put the all-female Avenger together, this book is gonna skyrocket. Okay, just look at what happened to Captain Marvel. Okay, Avenging Spider-Man #9. Her first appearance as Captain Marvel. Okay, as well as Ultimate Fallout #4. Those kind of things. They are years ago, just a few years ago, you could have picked them up for a cover price or just over, and then now it's astronomical. Okay, so that's why I'm giving you guys my best prediction as well. I got this one, and this is just a fun cover, but this is also A-Force #1. This is a variant. This is, I believe, volume 2. This is a J. Scott Campbell one, just a fun one. There's also an Adam Hughes. That cover of A-Force is somewhat expensive because of the cover. It's kind of sought after, so that's kind of going up on its own value, on its own merit, based on the cover. But it's not because of the story, character, and also there's another there's a first appearance of Singularity in the A-Force #1. This one here. So that could be something as well. Okay, but that is my pick, guys. Then this one is my #1 pick, because it has I believe the biggest potential for growth from where it is right now. Pretty much non-existent. Nobody's looking at this. Nobody's looking after this. But if you're paying attention to Endgame, and you understand how the MCU is working, Marvel, that kind of thing, where they're moving to, it's almost everybody's starting to talk and say A-Force right now. And so we're at the cusp. You've been warned now, okay? When this thing flies, when this thing starts to go, it could get out of reach really, really fast. So that's it for my prediction. I didn't mention Captain Marvel because she is already Avenging Spider-Man #9, Carol Danvers' first appearance in Marvel Superheroes #13. Those are all high end already. I mean, the value of those is up already. So it's not. I believe you're going to be paying premium for those. Okay, there's nowhere for those books to go, but basically, I believe down. Well, at least they won't be going up any higher than they are right now. So with that, just want to thank everybody for those who have subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, ring the notification bell, and share. That would be appreciated. And then, of course, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Give me a comment on the movie Endgame, what your thoughts on it, what your anything you need to say. Definitely, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And of course, any predictions you might have moving forward, share it with me. That way we can, and some of you guys have shared your stuff with me, and I have been actively looking for it. Definitely, we're all in this together. So really, thank you very much for those of you who have shared some of your predictions as well with me and wanting to do that. So, Comic Sniper here, along with again Mark 3. We'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye for now.